Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring the Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland Core Rulez. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review featuring this science fantasy post-apocalypse experience, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the adventuring rules. The ruins of the Forgotten World are dark, damp, and smell like a 100-year-old tuna sandwich, let alone filled to the brim with all sorts of baddies and traps. How you venture through these death mazes will greatly add to your survivability. One wrong step in the dark, and you could end up being someone's dinner. Be careful out there, cowboy, and pay heed to these rules. When it comes to time in Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland is broken into turns of 10 minutes each. This is not a measure of real time, but a measure of how much a character can do within a given amount of time. This also depends on context and the actions that are being carried out. For example, it takes a turn to search a 10 feet by 10 feet area, for a Night Stalker to check an item for traps, or a Lucky to load a bag of treasure. When it comes to movement, in Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland, movement is given as the number of feet a character may move in a single turn. As you venture through these post-apocalypse ruins and landscapes, resting gives you time to recharge your batteries and lick your wounds. A short rest can be conducted as a quick stop to catch your breath, take a swig of Glug Chug Zero, and bandage your wounds to restore 1 hit point and 1 ability class point. Resting for any longer will surely cause some monsters to sneak up on you. Now, when it comes to a long rest, it can only be conducted within a safe place. Long rests cannot take place within a dungeon environment, or any sort of environment in this post-apocalypse setting. A town is preferable, but a long rest can be conducted in the wilderness, as long as a fire can be built and a roving guard is on duty at all times. A long rest restores a single hit die of lost hit points, and 1d6 of lost ability points. In addition, casters' spell pools are gathered and any effects that begin and end with a long rest will reset. Most things that happen within the Neon Wastes can be sorted out with a good explanation by a player character. There are times, however, when a skill will need a check. In that case, you refer to the closest ability score that corresponds to an action. Strength related goes to burliness. The capacity to know the inner workings of something goes to brains, and so forth. This means that a player character rolls a d20, and the outcome must be tied or under the ability score that you are using. Now, concerning light and darkness, no humanoid race dwelling in Neoterrax has the natural ability to see within darkness. Some Xeno races have, over years of evolution, gained this ability, as have rare mutants and some war wizards afflicted by radiation sickness. However, monstrous creatures are often able to see just as well in the dark as in the light, making torches, lanterns, and chemsticks worth their weight in gold to adventurers. Some baddies use things other than their eyes to seek you out as prey, while others have the ability to see in realms and ways mere humanoids can only dream of. Some creatures might detect their prey through infravision, smell-o-vision, or meat-vision. For the true carnivores and apex predators out there, it combines infravision and smell-o-vision so that the creature can only see objects comprised of meat up to a certain distance. And when it comes to smell-o-vision, it grants the ability to see smells. The more rancid the stench, the brighter the color. Now, certain spells or effects may grant True Sight, and some powerful fiends may possess it as well. True Sight grants the ability to see fully in complete darkness with no penalty, the ability to see magical auras around enchanted objects and magical creatures, and the ability to view the astral plane and discern the silver cord that connects astral travelers to the material plane. As you venture forth, you may encounter doors locked by non-magical means, magically locked doors. You could also hack electronically locked doors. There could also be secret doors and swoosh doors, named swoosh doors for the noise they make when they slide open. Most of them are equipped with a control panel that locks and unlocks them by either a keycard or a numerical password. depending on your class, you will have an easier or harder time doing this. For example, a Brutacorn can kick down any door because you are a horse humanoid, while a Star Spawn could have a more difficult time with a 20% plus burliness modifier. There are also details on how to hear noises, detecting traps, disarming traps. Different checks are carried out either by rolling a 6-sided die or by rolling a D100, rolling below a certain percentage. Now let's talk about experience points. When the adventure is over and you're safe within the confines of a town, keep, stronghold, etc., and you are still alive, the Neon Lord will dish out the sweet experience points. Experience points are given out for dispatching bad guys, via slaying them, and by collecting gold and treasures. Monsters who retreat give no experience points. Each monster and treasure will have an experience value in its description. This is a role-playing game when sometimes combat is not preferable, as you obtain experience from the treasure, the coins, the gems, etc. that you obtain. And when it comes to carrying slots and encumbrance, each character class has a number of slots to carry things. For example, a Cyber Skin can have up to 5 slots to carry stuff, but in the case of the Night Stalker, he only has 1 slot. While a War Wizard, for example, because they use pocket dimensions, they can carry up to 6 slots of things. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about the combat rules. I really like the way that experience points and encumbrance is handled in this game. It's very quick, very easy to understand, adding some nuances or important considerations when it comes to survivability, of how much time you want to spend in a hostile environment, while at the same time keeping things easy and fast to get back into the action, and it has a strong old school flavor, of course. The adventuring rules are pretty basic when compared to other role-playing games. However, because here you do not have dwarves and elves that have an easier time moving through dark environments, the use of equipment, special abilities, spells, and perhaps even mutations is encouraged, so that you do not die the first time you step into dangerous environments. Thank you for watching this part of the review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been supporting the channel by sending drive-thru RPG gift certificates. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you and see you later.